Let us talk about one of Warren Buffett's favorite valuation tools, the dividend discount model, or DDM. This one formula has been used for decades to value companies that pay stable and predictable dividends. And once you understand it, you will immediately know whether a dividend stock is cheap or expensive. So, first, what exactly is DDM? It is a method where we estimate the fair value of a stock by calculating the present value of all future dividends. Think of dividends as the cash that actually reaches your pocket. If a company pays consistent dividends, then DDM becomes a very powerful valuation tool. Let us start with the basic idea. If a stock pays you 10 rupees every year forever, how much would you be willing to pay for it today? To answer that, we need to discount those future dividends to the present. Because as we learned earlier, money today is more valuable than money in the future. Now comes the Gordon growth model, the most common version of DDM. This model assumes that dividends grow at a constant rate every year. It is simple, elegant, and surprisingly accurate for mature, stable businesses. Here is how it works in words. The value of a stock today is equal to next year's dividend, divided by the difference between the cost of equity and the dividend growth rate. In simple terms, value equals expected dividend divided by required return minus growth. Now let us understand this with a real example. Imagine a company that paid 10 rupees dividend this year. We expect next year's dividend to be 10 rupees and 50 paise because the dividend grows at 5% per year. The required return for shareholders, or the cost of equity, is 10%. So we take next year's dividend, which is 10 rupees 50 paise, and divide it by 10% minus 5%. The value becomes 10 rupees 50 paise divided by 0.05. This gives us a value of 210 rupees. This means, based on the dividend and growth assumption, the fair value of the stock is 210 rupees. If the stock is trading at 150, it is undervalued. If it is trading at 350, it is overvalued. But here's the important part. DDM works perfectly only for companies with stable and predictable dividends. Think of companies like ITC, HDFC Bank, or utilities that pay regular dividends year after year. It does not work well for fast-growing companies, loss-making companies, companies that reinvest all their profits, or companies with irregular dividend payments. Also, if the growth rate is too close to the required return, the model gives unrealistic values. That is why analysts use DDM only when the business is stable and mature. So to summarize, DDM focuses only on dividends. The Gordon growth model assumes constant growth forever. It is extremely useful for banks, utilities, insurance companies, and mature businesses. And it gives you a clean theory-backed intrinsic value. Mastering DDM will give you a new lens to analyze stable dividend stocks, just like Buffett does.